such a weird concept. Like the French Foreign Legion will take anyone under a certain age, and you just show up with like nothing, and then like
no
you kind of
problem.
disappear. No one knows what happened to you.
You end up in Corsica.
Yeah. Yeah. The suits. Does he wear anything twice?
He does now. He repeats now, but he's a very very dapper man. I give
Yeah.
him that. It makes it easy. He looks good in anything though. It's kind of annoying. It's just like, why don't I look good in that? Like,
Yeah.
so
I mean, is this Steve Jobs? Is this the Steve
so
Jobs?
this is for the proper Apple when they were announcing they did an Apple kind of their
Oh,
take on
perfect.
an
Yeah.
Apple unveil. So originally this was actually meant to be done against a green screen. So we had the green screen set up, and they had all the video lighting, and then there was black flags to cut him off. To create, obviously, to do a black flag zoom to create shadow. So as he was coming in to review some of the video, I took a picture of him walking against the black flag, and obviously there's a continuous light gridded to like camera right. And then when I seen it, I was like, oh, that looks like the Steve Jobs, that iconic Steve Jobs picture. So
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, you stand against this, do that, and then we got the Steve Jobs picture, and I actually think it came out much more successful than the one against the green screen. So that's another tip for people: be ready to improvise. Just because you have a plan in your head, don't always stick to that. You gotta let it come.
Yeah. That looks like the Snoop.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Is that Johnny Depp? It
sure,
was.
yeah, sure is Johnny Depp.
Old Johnny in the background. So, like, what are your favorite photographs? Is there a,
I don't
is there
know.
a
They're
different
like,
menu?
yeah, there should be a
Which one should I go
I
to?
don't know. People ask me all the time which are my favorite. They're all like my kids, Like I can't just pick a favorite one. Like the GQ one was super cool, just because it was GQ. Like it was a major milestone to have that in your portfolio, a GQ
Yeah.
feature. So like obviously that was unreal. Like the Mike Tyson one went like viral, and got me a lot of attention. Um, there's just so many of them. I don't know. Like it changes all the time. I think I've too many ones that I like to pick a favorite. I like them all. Well, I don't like them all. Sometimes I take bad pictures like anybody, and I'm just like, oh, they're not great. But
All right, I'm gonna hop over to your Instagram. So ginger_beard_photos. Follow
I was
Dave.
trying to get just ginger beer photos, but someone's trying to sell it to me, and I refuse to pay for it. So
Well, you should. I mean, let's go rough them up.
no,
You got the
yeah,
crew.
I know. I'm gonna have to find them, but
All
I
right.
don't think
So,
I
have
think I just got
you
money.
ever like? Have your photos ever been so bad that Connor's like, "Get over here. We're fighting."
Yeah, no, he's very it's good. Like he's very critical isn't the right word. He's a if I do a bad job, he's not afraid to tell me, and if I do a good job, he'll tell me. He's very like we have a good rapport and a good relationship. That if it is a bad picture, he'll tell me. He's like they're all shit, and like he's like they're all bad. Or if I take a good one, he's like they're brilliant, like they're crackers. So he knows, and he's not afraid to tell me, and we go back and forth, and then like all right, well, and because it's the same person, I try and change up what I'm doing all the time, like even
Yeah.
just the lighting and how I do things. So I always try and keep it fresh for him, so he's not just getting repetitive pictures over and over again. So if I like I do the same picture on a jet, I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to do that one again. So I'll try and change it up every so often, just so he's constantly getting fresh images and fresh pictures, and I'm
That
getting
is
new
so
ways of doing
sweet.
things.
I love this. Oh, there's snip again. D-O double G. All right. So what's your next year look like? Do you know where you're going?
So we're gearing up now towards. It looks like Connor's comeback fight, so we'll be all guns blazing for that. So back into training camp, back back doing that. I'm sure there'll be loads of new new ventures that he goes into. Proper 12, Forge Irish Stout, the Black Forge in, his McGregor Fast, all of his brands are all full tilt ahead. So it's I never know what I'm gonna do. All I know is that I'm gonna be busy. I just know I'm going to be busy.
Oh man. So did you get to meet Offset too?
I met Offset a
Take-
different day. That
Sorry,
day,
Takeoff.
Offset actually. Yeah, I met Takeoff. So Offset wasn't actually at the Dublin show, but I met him in LA then. But they're an interesting group, the Migos.
Yeah. It was so sad when he died.
Yeah. It was tragic. I actually thought he was probably the. When it came to lyricist, he was probably the best one out of the group. Offset's new
Yeah, I
album is
would
very good
agree.
though.
I would agree. That was
John's,
amazing.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go back to here. All right, so just in terms of like advice for people starting out, I want to maybe ask a few questions that we get all the time. And when the first one is always like, what advice do you have? Like, I want to be where you're at now. So like for people starting out now, how do they like lay the foundation to like maybe in a few years get to do something as cool as what you're doing?
So I think the perfect way to do it is to one, you have to find something that you're actually passionate about doing. Like I was and still am. I was into MMA long before I was in like, before I even knew who Conor was. I was mad about MMA and I knew what it was and I was passionate about it. So that like so that I think that's the first thing. You have to, if you're into music photography, you have to be into music. You can't just be into taking pictures of bands or meeting famous people. I don't think that will never work and it will come across on your work. You have to know your subject, no matter what it is. If you're into fashion, if it's sports, if you're into food and you want to be a food photographer, I think you need, whatever your subject is, you have to be passionate about that and then add photography. It's hard to add photography and then the next bit. So like I love food, but I'm not the best food photographer because I that isn't where my passion lay. So I think you need to be passionate about what your subject matter is, and that can be anything. Like, like I said, fashion, food, sports, travel, anything. You have to love what you're taking photos of, and then love taking photos of that. So that doesn't always go hand in hand. Like I love food, I don't love taking pictures of food. I'm not very good at it, but it just kind of it goes hand in hand. I love taking pictures of people. Like I annoy my wife all the time. No matter where we go, I always have a camera. That's why I bought the LQ too. I bring this around everywhere with me. Whenever we go anywhere, I bring it with me, and it just annoys her to no end because I'm always taking pictures of things. So you have to love. Like I love photography, I love MMA, and I love sports photography. So it kind of just fused and merged, and that's kind of what I think that would be my first advice. It's hard to make a living doing this. It's hard to make money in photography. So you have to love it first, and then hope the financial side catches up.
Do you have any like side gigs where you take other jobs, or is it pretty much
Yeah,
you
so
stick
so
to this?
so things like outside of just photography, or like so outside of Connor, yeah, I do. I get the odd. I get things like the Migos. I shot Post Malone. I shoot like all like smaller things, um, when and where I can. But I'm lucky to be in a position where I'm full time with Connor, full time with his production, at the head photographer and head of his production company. That I don't need to like branch off and do corporate gigs. But there was definitely a time that I would shoot anything. Like, when you're coming up, like I was saying, your passion. So I was passionate about MMA photography, but I was still taking corporate gigs. I was taking pictures of anything, weddings. I was taking pictures of like corporate events for companies, everything to build up, to have enough money to be able to devote myself full time to one thing.
I'm gonna assume that you might not be allowed to shoot other MMA people. Is that is that about right?
No, I shoot. I shoot like a lot of a lot of me and Connor's friends are MMA fighters, so I shoot them all the time.
Oh, they got to be in
Like
the circle though. But like if it was a
yeah, I don't.
competitor,
I don't shoot I don't shoot anyone Connor's gonna fight or Connor might fight, but I just wouldn't do that anyway.
yeah. So the comeback fight, is that announced? Is there a date to it?
No, there's no day to it yet, but keep your eyes peeled.
All
It's
right,
kind of,
nice.
as you said, the greatest comeback in sports history. It's
Oh,
on
I'm
the way.
excited.
Yeah,
I'm
it should
excited.
be.
So are you gonna make a book or anything like out of all your work with him? Like, print
Yeah,
anything?
that is definitely the dream. It's slowly making its way to reality. I can't give out too much on it, but there will be a book. No matter what happens, there will definitely be a book. When, where, who does it is still in the works, but we're hoping to have it out soon.
Is it going to have some pop-up page? I think it'd be really cool to have a pop-up page.
It's going to have some scratch and sniff pages.
Like you open one and a fist just comes out and like hits you.
I want to have ones where like you scratch his top and you can smell cologne. It's going to be an art piece. It's going to be something that I'm very proud to put out as a very, very dyslexic person, to have a book and hopefully to have it get to a bestseller. The irony will not be lost on me. So that is the goal, and that's the dream, and I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to have a very, very cool book out very soon.
That's awesome. We should do like an entire process of like your book coming to life and make a tutorial out of it, of like everything that you're choosing, from the size to like getting it printed, the type of paper, like how you're going to like lay everything out. I love that sort of thing, and like all of those, decisions that you have to make and like bringing something to life. And it's really cool just to, I personally love watching other artists make decisions, and that's essentially where this company came from. So that would be really cool.
The candid sports photography tutorial. That's what we'll do.
Sign me up. I think everyone would love to see that.
No problem.
Very cool.
No problem.
So what time is it where you're at right now? Is it middle of the night?
It is 9:40 at night.
Oh,
and
nice. Not bad.
I see my phone lighting up here about so he's probably going training soon. So I'll probably get off this call and jump in the car and we'll go. Oh,
training. You're gonna be late. You're gonna get a whooping, aren't you?
No, it's grand. He's he trains late, so we're all good.
Nice. Well, I appreciate your time. It was great talking to you. Any last final thoughts, final words before we hop off?
No, just I suppose just for updates on the book or anything else, just go on to Gingerbeard Photography or Gingerbeard Photos on Instagram, Gingerbeard Photography on my website, and just if you have any questions or anything, just always let me know. I'm always happy to help out where I can. And like I said, no way endorsed and nothing going on, but sign up to Pro EDU and check out the tutorials. They've been a massive help to me, and I know they'll help other people as well. So
I really appreciate that.
Doing over there, it's great.
That means a lot. Thank you so much. Well, thank you again, and hopefully we can meet up in person one day. It'll be awesome.
Look forward to it.